Hey, Tripp here from trippadvice.com. Now, you're going to find yourself in a situation where you've used all the amazing advice on this YouTube channel, and you've gotten yourself a girlfriend. Now, you probably want to know, maybe even before getting into a relationship, what are some things that girls are more private about when they get into relationships? What are some things that they hide? And I'm going to dissect each and every one of these so we understand whether or not it's important to know or not to know. The first one is very common. How many people has she slept with? And that might come up in conversation. How many people has she slept with? How many people have you slept with? Should you know? Is that number important? Now, probably there's some curiosity, right? Like you want to know her past. You want to know if she's slept with a lot of guys. You want to know if she's experienced or not experienced. But let me tell you, this is something you don't want to know, okay? And hopefully she hides this from you, and hopefully you hide it from her. Not in a way where you're trying to keep it secret, but just not sharing that information that's not important, okay? The past is the past, and there's no importance in understanding or knowing how many people she slept with. Plus, if you know, it's going to change your mind about her, which is not going to be a correct assumption, right? So if she's only slept with 2 guys, you might say, oh, well, maybe she doesn't like sex, or she's not experienced in the bedroom, or she's prude, which are all just assumptions. Or maybe she slept with 30 guys, and you're like, oh my God, she's a slut, she's dirty, she's terrible, da-da-da-da. And that's just going to make you feel terrible about being with her, and you're going to be all jealous and thinking terrible stuff. So the point is this is information you do not need to know. So just avoid that at all costs. Let her keep it secret and move on. Family issues. Okay, so we all have them, right? We all have family issues, stuff with our parents and our siblings and our cousins and whoever. There's family issues. Now, this might be something that she hides for a while, doesn't talk about for a while, and that's okay. But I think eventually, if you're in a relationship, you two should talk about that stuff, right? That stuff that should come up because it could be very important. It could be affecting your life. So if there's something that is affecting her life on a day-to-day basis or even month-to-month basis that's stressing her out and has something to do with her family, it'd be good for you to know that. That's not something that should be in the dark. However, this is not stuff that needs to be talked about in the very beginning of a relationship. I say anywhere from 3 to 6 months or on, you can start talking about some of that stuff and learning that from her. But she might keep it hidden from you for a little while. But if she keeps it hidden from you for a long, long time, I would say it'd be good to ask her. Ask her about her relationship with her family and see how it is. That can give you really important information about how this person sees the world, what their values are, and why they do what they do. So that's good information to have. So make sure it's not hidden for too long. Something a girl might hide is if guys are hitting on them throughout the day or when they go out with their girlfriends, right? They might not tell you if guys are hitting on them. Not because she's necessarily cheating, not because she's necessarily flirting back, but because that information is just not important, right? As equally not important as knowing how many people she used to sleep with. Who cares if guys are hitting on her? Doesn't matter. She's coming home to you. You're the person who's with her. So she doesn't need to tell you that stuff. And she might be hiding that stuff. And good for her if she is, because if she tells you that stuff, well, this might make you jealous and might make you uncomfortable. You don't need to know if she is going off and getting hit on by guys, okay? And don't be freaked out, but you got to understand it happens all the time. If you're dating a beautiful girl, if you're not dating a beautiful girl, she's probably getting hit on, okay? That's just the name of the game. Just like you were going out and approaching women, a lot of other guys are approaching girls too. So don't ever try to stop that. You're not going to be able to lock her in a cage, okay? She's going to go out, guys are going to talk to her, and if she likes you, if she loves you, if you guys have a good relationship, you should have nothing to worry about. It's going to give her a little bit ego boost, but she's going to be still happy to go home to you. So if she hides that, good. Don't worry about it and don't pry. She might hide her biggest insecurities, right? There might be something about her, maybe mentally, maybe there's something she's insecure about physically on her body, whatever that may be. She might hide these from you and not talk to you about them. Good. That's fine. You know what? If you have some insecurities about yourself, I don't think that should be talked about either. There's no reason to be talking about that. It's not like you're going to solve those for her and she's going to solve them for you. If you're insecure about something, that's your job to be working on that. It's not hers. This is not an area where you need to be vulnerable in a relationship. So if you're insecure about, I don't know, the way your beard comes in or the way sometimes you have a crooked hairline when you do videos like this guy, right? No, I'm not insecure about that. But if you are insecure about something, listen, keep it to yourself, solve it on your own, let her do the same thing. So she might hide those. Good. Let her worry about those. You worry about yours. Here's an interesting one. Last but not least, she doesn't like your friends or she doesn't like your family. that is absolutely something she is going to hide if she doesn't like them, okay? She is not going to want to tell you that she doesn't like the most important people in your life. Generally speaking, of course, some might, maybe one of your friends says something really rude to her, she might comment, but if it's something kind of like she just doesn't gel with them or she's just not really interested in hanging out with them, she might not tell you. She might be scared because that's going to be very hurtful for you. If you ever want to find out, it's going to be very simple. Is she ever trying to hang out with your friends? Does she get excited to go on double dates? Does she get excited to see her family? You're going to see it in the action. So it's not necessarily something you have to discuss. Maybe discuss it after you see it in the actions, but don't just assume that out of nowhere she doesn't like your friends or family just out of some weird guessing. You don't have to ask her. Of course, if you double date, hey, did you have a good time? And see how she reacts, and that's all good. But this is something that she might hide from you. And I don't blame her. That's a really tough thing to say to someone, to say to your partner. Like, hey, I hate your best friend, or hey, I hate your mom and dad, they suck. You know what I mean? Like, that's something very tough. So she might hide that from you. And if you want that information, like I said, you're going to see it more in the actions, and then you guys can work it out from there. If you're interested in learning more about relationships and having an amazing relationship, check out my blog post called The 10 Lessons I Learned from My Past 3 Relationships. You're going to like this. This is good stuff, and I want you to learn about how not to make the mistakes that I made and some of the big things that I learned so you can take those into your next relationships. Check out that blog post. There's a link down in the description below, and I will talk to you in the next video.